Stacking them deep, selling them cheap.
It tastes like gasoline, rubber, and victory.
We're just out here stacking pennies.
Are you guys as excited as I am? Because you cannot be. It's impossible. We are in person, staring down Broadway. Down here, the neon lights are flashing. I am pumped up. I am joined in person this time with my buddies, Mr. Chuck Bush.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Mr. Pit Road Books and Woes Analyst Ryan Flores.
Gonna need a boat out here right now.
Well, we needed a boat about an hour ago because it was raining, but not anymore. It is dry. We had the air Titans out blowing this thing off, but don't forget about Mr. Ice Cold Blue Mountain Takes, Jonathan Merriman.
A little chilly out here tonight.
Oh.
It is, and it's got to get way colder because we have a ton of guests coming on our show. Stand by. This is going to be the first lot. I don't even know what we're going to call it, but we're going to call it a damn good time because we have some great guests coming on. We're going to even open the show with some great guests. Yeah. Eric Moses, the president of Nashville Super Speedway, is going to be joining us here shortly, as well as that helicopter flying overhead.
He's chopping in.
He's bringing a guest. He's bringing a guest. I don't know if y'all are familiar with UNC Tar Heel basketball or, I don't know, NBA basketball. Anybody that is a basketball fan whatsoever knows Tar Heels.
There you go.
And Jerry Stackhouse is going to be joining us here shortly. So tune in, stand by. It's going to be a hell of a night.
Action-packed. You can hear the cars out there probably soon.
Dude.
Cool.
Bear
that
with
you're
us.
going to see later on NBCSN because we're leading into that in about an hour or so.
Dude.
We'll see it before you.
It's electric. It is electric out here.
It's a great city. I mean, we did it in 19. Do it again. It's going to be great.
The burnout area is way
NASCAR.
tighter than I thought.
And the first one's rolling out.
Yeah,
here, boys.
so let's get our first guest on.
Let's get our first guest on here. All right, guys, we are back here at the end of Broadway doing Burnouts on the Boulevard, and maybe two guests that you might not have expected on the show to open us up here. We have the president of Nashville Super Speedway, Eric Moses, joining us, and he brought his buddy. This guy looks pretty familiar if you're an NBA fan, basketball fan, and a big Tar Heel fan, Jerry Stackhouse. Thanks for joining Stacking Pennies.
No doubt. Glad to be here, man.
Man, Eric, big year for you. Big year for you.
It's been fantastic, man. This is, as you guys know, a fantastic market for our sport. And having the honor and privilege of bringing back a racetrack after 10 years of dormancy and bringing Cup Series racing back to Middle Tennessee after 37 years, it was quite the effort, quite the feat, and quite the honor.
Well, you guys knocked it out of the park with that effort, Chuck. You didn't go to Nashville, did you?
I went to Nashville.
I
followed Eric around for a couple of days. Before, like back in April, we came up to Nashville. We did the documentary that you can watch on NASCAR's YouTube. When you're done watching this and watching the burnouts and the awards, go back to NASCAR's YouTube. Watch the rebirth of Nashville Super Speedway. We did a whole hour-long documentary. It's great stuff,
dude. It was great stuff. Now what?
As Eric Amarola is currently burning it down.
And bear with us with the audio. We did not think this through when we were setting our stage up.
But we're back. We're back. We're here. We're doing stuff.
We are here. And Eric, man, I just wanted to ask the backstory on how you get to hang out with Jerry Stackhouse, man. I'm kind of jealous.
We're all Tar Heels, man. Tar Heels stick together. And once I came to Nashville, I knew he was here. And we got in touch. We have a very close mutual friend. And he put us in touch. And he kind of took me under his wing as somebody who had been in Nashville longer than I have. And so, just doing the thing, man.
Jared, did you get a chance to go to the NASCAR race when we were out there?
No, I was out of town that weekend.
Have you been to watch us before NASCAR race?
I have.
Where have you been?
I've been in Charlotte, man. I'm a North Carolina boy, man.
What was the first race that you went to? Can you remember back that far?
No, someone took me. I don't even remember exactly where it was or where, but I know, and I didn't stay too long, but I was there for a while, man. I enjoyed it. Loud. Yeah. Loud.
It is loud. I know you coach the Vanderbilt basketball team right up the street. How much time do you get to spend outside of your profession to watch us drive around the circles in a year?
Well, man, obviously I'm locked into what we do, but I mean, my guy here, he's got me locked back into it, man. It's a lot of exciting time for Nashville as far as what we're trying to build here in Vanderbilt, kind of parallel to what he's trying to do, bringing NASCAR back here and getting the excitement going. So it's just kind of good timing and making sure that we're connecting and trying to do it the right way.
I love that. Eric, just seeing all the fans out here
Those dummies doing donuts.
Somebody's getting their money's worth.
It's Alex Bowman right now.
Alex
Bowman,
Bowman.
yeah.
That's the 48 Ally.
And I believe Chase, Ally's a big partner of the Nashville
right.
Super Speedway as well. What's seeing downtown Nashville this alive with NASCAR? I feel like NASCAR and Nashville go hand in hand.
They really do, and people loved it when we were here in Father's Day weekend. And everywhere I go, and Chuck knows this, when we had the SRX race down at the fairgrounds, people came up to me and thanked me for bringing NASCAR back to Nashville. Same thing at the Music City Grand Prix down here. I mean, people are race fans here. You know, it just works in this market.
Absolutely.
So it's like a family.
Well, and it's sports more than that. Like, because there's a lot of, especially right the past couple of years with NASCAR, there's been a lot of crossover between other sports. Like, we've got now Michael Jordan in the sport. So what has it been like kind of seeing this town come around it, but then also like the sport embracing other sports and other sports embracing our sport?
I love it, and I think it helps us to be more general market, if you will, right? Like, our sport is one of those that you have to know some things about it to fully appreciate what's happening. And I liken it oftentimes to baseball. If you've ever played baseball and you watch it, you don't know all the things that are happening where it looks like there's nothing happening. And as much as I learn more and more about this sport, it's just fascinating, man. It's fascinating. And getting people like Kamara involved and you know, we're going to get Jerry out there and other folks like that, and the I Am Athlete guys who have been doing stuff with NASCAR. It's great to open eyes to how special our sport really is.
Absolutely. I almost feel like all the sports are kind of banding together. You yourself, you're a football guy. You were president of the XFL team, the DC Generals, I believe,
DC
right?
Defenders.
Oh, man, botched that one.
Generals, that was like the old.
That was the USFL with Herschel Walker.
Who always gets beat by the Globetrotters.
Like you said, it's all running.
It's all running together. What were the biggest takeaways, the differences, I guess, going from that side of the game to racing?
Yeah, I think we're experiencing it now. It's the noise. Which is very different than in stick and ball sports. You go to a game with somebody, you sit next to them, you can talk the whole time uninterrupted. At our sport, you don't have any ear protection. You might be in for it.
Yeah.
I also think that the difference really is NASCAR feels like a way of life.
Yeah.
Like, all sports fans love their sport, football, basketball, baseball, but there's something different about this. And for a while, I couldn't explain to people, I couldn't articulate what it was. And I talked to a guy who's been in the business for 15 years, and he said, it's a way of life. And I went, that's exactly what it is.
Well, it's, to me, it's that way of life. It's kind of like, and I'm a little biased by this, the Carolina-Duke rivalry. Like, growing up in North Carolina, that is something that you just feel. You know it. Like, you pick a side. You're given a side when you're born almost. And it's kind of the same feel with NASCAR in a way.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And, you know, people come out to the track and they spend 5 days with us in RVs. I go out on my golf cart every morning just to see what's going on. I see the same people walking around the perimeter road doing their morning exercise. Like, they came and made our place their home for 5 days. I don't know where else they do that, what other sport they do that in.
Not many. We have some devoted race fans to our sport.
The Cameron Crazies do camp out.
They camp out a little bit. I don't even know if it's 5 days.
Well, they got to get the tickets.
Right. You don't get the nickname Cameron Crazies for nothing.
No doubt.
That's because they went to Duke, not Carolina, though.
They never got any wins while I was there. I know that.
For sure.
I had to throw that in.
Hey, Chuck, I know these guys want to go watch these burnouts. Before you go, I got to ask Jerry the pressing question. Are NASCAR drivers athletes, or are they not?
Yeah, man. I saw a little guy there could be a point guard for me, Larson. He looked like he could get into the ball, man. So I'm pretty sure, man, they're all athletes. When you can drive a car like that, you got something special. So you're definitely
that's a good answer. I appreciate that, and I appreciate Eric and these guys for coming on the show and joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Enjoy the night.
All right, likewise.
All right, guys, we're back. We are back here, joined with two new guests. This guy's Nashville native. He looks pretty familiar. Mr. John Crisp.
Let's go.
Welcome to the show. And the hack himself, Alex Bowman. Now, hey, I don't want to say nothing, but that was a pretty hack burn.
I just had to live up to the nickname there. I want to go crawl in my bed and cry about how embarrassing that was. I broke a transmission, so, like, at least I have somebody to blame.
Is that why I saw
That's pretty bad.
Denny up underneath that 48 car before he
Probably. I thought about interrupting his burnout, but my car's broken. I can't even do it now.
Don't worry about the cars blasting off the chip in the background. The people can see us.
At least he can do a burnout. I'm jealous.
We can hear. He's doing a pretty good one. And
yeah.
I'll tell you something that's been better and better. Now the asphalt's starting to dry out, so the smoke's getting more and more every car
And
that
that's
goes
what
out.
it was the asphalt.
Yeah, or
dried out.
or the fact that he has 4 gears and I had 0.
Is that
you
the
gotta-
24?
you gotta have
They
gears.
gave him the good
Yeah.
transmission.
What about the guy that brought all of his friends? He's like, "You're my favorite driver. Like, this is the first time they're all seeing you." And
Yeah.
he's like, "What happened?"
I'm as embarrassed for him as I am for myself that he would pick me as a favorite driver because, I mean, 4 times this year it was okay, but the other 32 it was pretty awful.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe they can catch you over at Tootsie's later tonight. Like, what's Alex Bowman doing to celebrate his year?
Something. Not quite sure what, but I'll be doing something.
No doubt. John Chris, you are local. What do you do around
You know
here?
what? I'm trying. If you're coming down to Broadway, if I'm telling you go down to Broadway, I'm gonna go the rooftop at Aldean's.
Okay.
Number 1, and then I'm gonna tell you to go to Kid Rock's.
Yeah.
That'll be number 2. Then I would go to.
Is Tootsie's not on your list?
Tootsie's the top 5, and Miranda Lambert's is new bar.
Yeah.
But there are a couple that if you went there, and I'll be like, oh, if you're like, come meet us at, I'll be like, they're from out of town. 100%.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Meet us at Luke Bryan's, you're from out of town.
So, since you're a local guy and you're, I don't know, Instagram celebrity, if you will,
Well,
you probably don't hang out on this road very often.
if somebody from, there's certain spots you can hang.
Yeah.
And there's certain people that you can, places where it's more.
You take a picture with the wings and stuff since
Yeah,
you're big on
that's
Instagram? Yeah, you gotta
number
do that.
1. Yeah.
That's how you got Instagram famous
Yeah,
to
just
start.
Go big wing guy.
Boomerangs.
Big wing guy.
Yeah, big wing guy.
Sprint cars.
That's in the Gulch.
You came to Charlotte. We met you at Charlotte for the kickball tournament.
I don't
I
think
was
he-
there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was.
What?
I don't know if you heard him or not.
Oh, no, I can't hear.
You can't hear me.
Charlotte kickball. You
I
were
was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long were you sore for afterwards?
Oh, I heard you. Well, first of all, somebody said that we should wear long socks, and I go, that's not a thing, and I didn't, and my shins were killing me for 2 weeks.
Yeah, dude.
And they were like, here's what you need to do. I was like, okay, I've played kickball before, and I was dying.
I didn't even get invited to the kickball tournament.
Well,
That's
all
bogus.
3 of your Hendrick teammates declined, so I figured you were just going to be in line too.
Dang.
So you were
I am-
4th out of Hendrick
I'm
invites
sitting
too.
here right
Call 'em
now.
out.
I'm offering you the invitation for 2022.
I don't think you want me to play at your tournament, but
Hang on, funny story.
I probably can come hang
So
out.
we were over Logano's baby shower the other night at a bowling alley, and Brad's there, Kozlowski.
Oh,
At
no.
his
And
baby
Brad's
shower?
like, I got a bone to pick with you. He said, why wasn't I not invited to the
Yes,
to the
dude.
kickball tournament?
You
I said,
heard
I
about the
saw a
basketball?
video. I saw a video of you shooting a basketball at a Hornets game, and that automatically declines you from invitation.
You didn't
yeah,
even
you
miss a
can't do that.
beat.
Yeah.
You just crushed his soul right away.
Oh yeah,
You're out.
the
Yeah.
soul drained from his face.
That's like I think the biggest one that I know of is the Pebble Beach Pro-Am in golf, and you got to be like Ray Romano, or like you got to be
Famous.
I
Is
tell-
Ray
yeah.
Romano's a good golfer?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you have to be like? For me to ask my agent, like, hey, can you? He goes, like, I'm not gonna ask.
Yeah, you had to be asked.
Yeah. He's like, hey, is there something above y'all's league as drivers that you're like, we don't.
A lot of stuff. Like we really and truly aren't very famous. Like
That's
we're
me.
not
Like,
very
I'm just kind of happy to be here.
You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, you won 4 races this year, and he probably can still go half down Broadway and not get recognized.
I will 100% never get recognized anywhere, and I freaking love it. It is the
pretty
best
good.
thing.
Yeah, you just go win. Yeah.
Because he's also not. He's got a great social media, tells it like it is. But yeah, like we don't post very much on social media.
Yeah.
So like,
I would, if I didn't have to have social media, wouldn't do it.
no.
Like, I
You
think
wouldn't-
it's
you just
cool.
want to race.
Like, it's cool to connect with fans, but then you also have to sort through some really
Some other
mean
stuff.
people sometimes. And
Bro.
yeah, if I didn't have to have it, I wouldn't have it. But
Yeah,
it's really cool to be able to see NASCAR fans as passionate as they are about everything. And like at the racetrack, they're like super pumped. But then we can also kind of do whatever without getting
They were the same
recognized
at the
ever.
kickball. They were nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm like, those people are wild.
Your Instagram stories from the kickball tournament were fun.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Now-
because
You do a lot of racing in the off season and all that, but what was the 2
trying to
hours
read
of
lips.
Mullets or whatever?
Yeah, I'm trying to read lips here. It's tough, but
somebody's burning it down.
so yeah, I ran the 2.4 hours of lay mullets, which I don't know if you guys know, but it's pretty much the greatest event of all time. It's old cop cars with roll cages and nitrous, so pretty much can't get any better. I got a flat tire leading with 10 minutes to go. Kurt Busch ended up
Dang.
winning.
Who was your teammate? Or like who was your
Cletus
co-driver?
McFarland was my teammate.
okay.
So yeah, pretty big deal there. Was a lot of fun. I mean, they drive just like a cup car. So
And you know what they
No
did?
power?
You know what they did? They did a Broval.
Oh,
They
you
did a
did a Broval.
Yeah.
They did a kidney-shaped
And then
track.
they
They've been
put
listening.
water barrels with soapy water in them around the grass, so you didn't shortcut.
Yeah.
Those were down on lap 1, so you got soapy water.
Oh, yeah.
So then
Should've gone on lap
you're
1.
sliding through the grass, right? So then you have muddy soapy water.
I go watch this.
It was
I go watch
it was the best thing you've ever done.
You could probably race it. Get a Stacking Pennies car, Corey and
100%.
you.
100%.
Would you be
100%
in?
they would let you do it.
Could you get us invitation to the
Heck yeah.
2.5 hour, 2.4
The next
mile?
one, the next one is the Freedom 500.
When is that?
It's usually
It's in
February
April.
or something.
I think it's
isn't it?
April
I
typically.
think he wants an invitation in exchange for the kickball invitation.
Oh,
We could do that.
Yeah.
You
fuck
need
it.
to
We can work
play
on that.
kickball.
Cletus
Yeah.
McFarland. Call me up. Me and John Chris will share a car. That'd be some content.
Oh, dude, we would do that.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm getting the rap signal. Alex
then
Bowman,
get
thanks for
me off
jumping
of
on.
here.
John Chris,
Much love.
appreciate that.
I'll see you at the
I'll
kickball
get up.
tournament.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
All right, guys, we're back. Our next guest needs no introduction. Mr. the Outlaw himself, Kurt Busch.
What's up, boys?
Thanks for joining Stacking Pennies with us.
Hell yeah. Now, this is such an awesome privilege to be burning out on Broadway and take it all in. I tell everyone that goes out there, just take it all in while you're doing it. Don't worry about your performance or whatever with the burnout. This
Dude.
is something special.
I'm jealous, I'll be honest.
You got to work your way up, man.
No shit, I'm trying. Who knows? Well, I'm trying to work my way up. The next gen car, hopefully, a little bit of an equalizer, get up there in the mix. What do you think about your first couple test sessions in that next gen car?
It was pretty wild. Like you said, the open book of just a clean slate, starting over, and who knows what the aero package will be. The road course, I drove it on the Roval, and it was like 2 seconds quicker once we got settled from the current car. So there'll be speedway stuff we got to sort out, downforce stuff, short track package. But again, like the coolness of the gearbox, you know, the independent rear suspension, the brakes, the tires, it is going to be on the gas hard. It's going to be like qualifying when everything gets dialed in every lap.
Can I translate something real quick?
Yeah.
Work your way up is the nicest way of saying win a
You
damn
suck.
race.
Get in the playoffs.
Now that's a professional way
It
of saying
is.
it, and I appreciate that. It made me feel less bad about myself.
Hey, his old man gave me enough trash when I was starting out, so I can give it back a little
And
bit.
I apologize for anything you might have said. Enough with the boring stuff. Let's talk about the fun stuff. You won the 24, what is it? The 2.4 hours of La Mullets.
Yes, I needed to borrow your mullet to go down there.
It's a flow, bro.
Yeah,
Get it right.
You're right.
It's a flow.
Some
It's not a
lettuce. Lettuce.
Now, Alex said he had the race won until he cut a tire. Is that
Bowman?
true? Yeah.
Was he there?
Oh, some shade.
So Bowman was working with Cletus, the guy putting on the whole production.
Yeah.
Cletus hooked up with one of my crew guys and said, hey, bring Kurt down here, because it was a 3-hour drive from my Florida house. I'm like, cop cars, DeSoto Speedway with nitrous, I'm in.
Kidney
And-
shaped.
Huh?
Kidney shaped.
Oh yeah, they made the back straightaway where you went into the figure eighter. It was slick as ice down there once we bulldozed all the water barrels.
That's what they said.
And me and Vaughn Gittin Jr., we teamed up for Team Monster, and we saved all of our nitro for the end. And we used it all at the end at the right spot. We won it, man. I won the 2.4.
We are trying to see a triple-nosed
Oh,
burnout.
gosh. These Penske guys are doing that?
Oh.
They
Nobody
said
tries the Iron Lotus.
Oh, gosh.
That's what they're trying to Iron Lotus.
I think.
And they're pulling it off.
Let it rip, let it rip.
Sick, dude.
So you're going to have to tune in to NBCSN later on to watch this.
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
That's out 6 o'clock, NBCSN.
That's pretty cool. How did you feel about your burnout, Kurt?
I was feeling really good until I see this one. So as a solo artist, maybe I did okay, but as a boy band, look, that's a boy band out
That
there.
is in sync.
You gotta divide by 3.
That's the goofiest boy band of all time. No doubt.
Yeah, what's their hit single?
Oh, I don't know.
Their hit single is Captain.
Hey,
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
the band's breaking up. This is the last
know,
performance. The
yeah.
band's breaking up.
And
exactly
you
right.
know what else is breaking up, Kurt? The Gen 6 car. So what? One word as you say goodbye to driving this particular era car, because you've driven lots of cars. Are you sad to see this go?
It's sad, but also energizing with the new car coming in. But at Phoenix, I'm not going to lie. I've sat there to myself going, I've driven an H pattern stick shift in NASCAR for 20 years, and never will it happen again for the foreseeable future. We're all going sequential gearbox.
Unless you drive an Xfinity race.
I don't know, hey, man, I'm at the top. I stay there, man. You'll get there.
You can work your way up.
We can all work our way down quick.
Also have a chance to win in all 4 manufacturers that have been in NASCAR with Dodge, Ford, and Toyota, and Chevy. If you win in that Toyota, I think Clint might be the only one that's ever done that currently. So, I mean, how's that high up on the list?
That is something big as far as a goal, an objective. And Toyota, honestly, the TRD program asked me as a veteran, come in, lead a program, give us a couple years, and you know you're going to end up handing it over to a younger kid. And I'm like, you know what? That fits. And I wanted to challenge myself to win with the next-gen car, but also with Toyota to do all 4 manufacturers that have been in the sport since I've been around.
Well, and you said earlier to tell all the guys to take it in, and you've gotten a chance to test that car. There's a lot going on out there right now, so I'm having to yell. But yeah, I've covered some of the tests with you out there, and like seeing you get out of that car and the excitement that you have for the future of the sport, knowing, not calling you old, but how long you've been around in the sport. It's been a while. Like, I remember watching you at Bristol, like, back in the day, enjoying the hell out of it. But knowing where this sport has been and where it's going, and being someone who is a champion in the sport, has won in all these different manufacturers, like, what is that excitement that you have for the future?
There's anxiety built in with the excitement because of the patterns I've been in for so many years and the tracks. But look at this year with all the new road courses we went to and all the pizzazz around Nashville here for the oval race. Road America was off the charts this summer, July 4th. So add that in with new tracks next year, new designs and concepts for other tracks, this car. You just got to smile and go, you know what? It's all about just evolution, keep things going, and embrace the new.
Now you've raced. I mean, you made it the hard way, right? You've been racing your whole life. You've raced a lot of different cars. Is there anything when you get in this new next gen car that kind of sparks your memory? I know Corey kind of thinks of it as it's a lot like the super late models that he runs. Is there anything that you thought back of that it relates to that you've driven?
Honestly, there's so many different elements and almost different cars I've driven. It took me to almost a rally car style feel with the sequential gearbox and the bitchin' brakes. I mean, you can drive in. If our braking marker was a 4 before, we're almost going to the 2 now.
Yeah.
It almost halves the braking distance. So the braking power is pretty sweet.
All right, he's got a lot of Tito's and Monster to drink tonight, so let's let Kurt go on his way. Thanks for jumping on Stacking Pennies, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
appreciate
Kurt.
it. Cheers, everybody.
All right, guys, we are back with the burly beard man himself, Ryan Blaney.
Trying to keep up with you.
Dude, yours is way more burly
For
than
those
mine.
of y'all who haven't seen Corey, he has an amazing hat.
Yeah.
I'm mad he took off.
They will have seen it earlier today in the DoorDash show
Don't
that
worry.
preceded this show.
He threw 4 interceptions to get that hat.
That's a Cam Newton
3 for
reference.
15, 4 interceptions. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out your beard, your mustache twirling on the sides.
It looks good.
Yeah. So there's it gets long.
Yeah.
And I went to my first actual professional beard trim the other day because I was like, I'll clean it up for the banquet.
Yeah.
And he got done and everything. I was like, yeah. And then he took some big old holding paste and did it hard. And I went home. I looked in the mirror. I was like, I might keep this. And I didn't, but maybe tomorrow night for the banquet, I'll twirl
It helps though. Like it helps keep the food
Helps keep
and
it
the
out of your
drinks out of
mouth.
when you style it a little bit.
Yeah.
When it
Get
gets
a
long.
monocle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Monocle.
yes.
All right, so the fans that are watching or listening, their burnout just happened, but you're about to see it here at 6 o'clock on NBC SN. You guys did what I called the Iron Lotus.
Hashtag Iron Lotus.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm not going to explain what it was, but how did you guys come up with that?
We came up with it about 5 minutes before we went out there.
Yeah. Whose
we're
idea was it?
We all kind of grouped together. We're like, we should do something.
Yeah.
Like, all 3 of us together. Brad's moving on. Let's all 3 do something different. And so we were like, well, why don't we try this little Y pattern?
Yeah.
And I can't believe it worked. I can't believe we didn't. We actually got it pretty good, and we were staying there for as long as we wanted to. I backed out. I couldn't see.
Brad's basically
And I thought we were done.
physicist,
And then I get out of the car and walk to the stage, and they're still doing burnouts. So I'm like,
God.
I messed that up. So.
Hey, I'm good. I was just happy I didn't have to go out there and change any tires on that thing because I've changed tires for all three of you guys. How difficult is it going to be losing a guy like Brad? And obviously, we've talked internally that you're going to step up as a veteran guy with two rookies coming in with a new car.
Yeah, Brad's been a huge part of Team Penske for a long time, and obviously was a big part of my life and my career growing, getting a shot in the truck series, and been a great mentor for many years. And with him, going to Roush and part owning that, there's Austin Cindric and Burton coming in, rookies, and me and Joey are kind of the guys with the most experience now. So, I think all I want to do is try to give back, some pointers or tips if they come asking for it, like, Joey or Brad or other veterans did for me when I was just getting started. So I'm happy, for Brad, happy for, our new guys we got coming up. I think it'll be a fun little adventure.
Is it weird to think of yourself as a veteran?
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Is it weird to think of yourself as a veteran?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not too old, but been doing it for a little bit, and just like the second most senior guy at Penske, so you kind of compare two of them too. But it is weird to think. It seems like just yesterday I kind of started off on the NASCAR side, and you blink and you're 9 years down the road. It's pretty fun.
We got a loud one going on.
That is Daniel Hemrick, the Xfinity Series champion. Oh, okay, now we can talk.
Now I heard rumblings that you're pretty fast next gen in here at the Charlotte test. How's stuff going with Hassler there and your next gen program?
We did the next gen test at Charlotte a couple weeks ago, and a bunch of cars out there, probably 20 cars, and I thought it went pretty smooth. I thought all the teams kind of, everyone's learning, right? I mean, the drivers aren't the only ones learning, but the mechanics, they're learning how to work on the car. So, that's just as much of a learning curve for them as it is for drivers, and it was nice to have 2 days there. I think we have a handful more tests in the off season and then throughout next year, but you're always going to have bugs, with a new car and things like that. We kind of have been trying to work those things out to give the best racing possible for the fans to watch and for the drivers to, be able to run around each other. So that's been a good process. It's just continuing to come along.
How critical is it going to be to win early in this car so you can focus on figuring stuff out for the playoffs? I mean, it seems like that at the end of the West Coast swing, if you hadn't won a race, you really can't get ahead, just from my seat.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's different now with – I don't feel like teams don't go off on science experiments if they win early in the year. I feel like they did that before the bonus points of winning races and things like that. You kind of see guys get locked into the chase and then go on, science experiment kind of for the next couple months and see what they can learn for the chase. But now I feel like you're trying to learn as much as you can every week. And almost I feel like with this new car, it's going to be a science experiment for the first couple months at least. Just you don't know what you don't know. So I think that's going to be really interesting to see how all these teams kind of attack, the 1.5 miles, the short tracks, the speedways, road courses, and just kind of seeing where it all stacks up, because no one really knows. No one knows how you're going to stack up, around other teams. You have testing, but that doesn't really show you everything as far as speed goes.
So we're sitting here at the end of Broadway, and if you weren't in your fire suit, you would look like you would be performing in one of these bars. So what are your go-to spots to hit when you're in Nashville?
Yeah, I love, probably my favorite bar in Nashville, I love Alan Jackson's. The second floor at Alan Jackson is the best. I like Alan Jackson. What's that?
Why?
Because it's very small and there's always
I always walk past
playing.
it. Yeah.
The bottom floor, you have a full band, but go to the second floor, very small, very long bar.
You're a big unplugged guy.
Yeah, big unplugged guy.
Did you ever get off Broadway and then hit? Well, last night we went over to Printer's Alley.
Batter's Box?
No.
Batter's Box. Tim Duggar turned me on to the Batter's Box. It's pretty awesome. Big fan. And then, yeah, they got, I think, Losers. There's another Losers off the strip. And
that's Chuck's
Red
hotel
Door.
room.
Yeah.
Losers. That's my hotel room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Losers.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Well, if you're watching this, you probably weren't able to catch Ryan Blaney at the bar at Losers or any other place downtown.
Batter's Box.
Batter's Box. We're going to be somewhere, and we're going to have the gas turned all the way up tonight, boys. So, Ryan Blaney, thanks for joining Stacking Pennies.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, we're back with the other part 2 of the Iron Lotus himself.
Is that like an arm of the Y or what?
I love the
branch,
name.
the Iron Lotus. It's fitting.
I love it.
Because that's what it was. It was an impeccable burnout. I asked Ryan whose idea was. He was like, it was kind of our own, all together. I feel like it was your idea.
Yeah, it was my idea. I like it. But we all came together on the boulevard as well, but also figuring this out. This is what happened. There was a safety meeting before this.
Yeah.
And
They said, "Don't do this."
we didn't listen very well. We were in the back with a piece of paper and a pen and drawing this Iron Lotus.
The Iron Lotus.
I love the Iron Lotus. It's so good. So, yeah, and you know, we didn't ask. We told them we're going to do this.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, hey, the 3 cars, we're 6th, 7th, 8th in points, which isn't that exciting, but at least we're all 3 right there. And I said, this would be a really cool Team Penske photo.
Yeah.
3 cars. No one's ever done the Iron Lotus before.
No,
this is
it's impossible.
No one's ever seen it. It's been thousands of years no one's seen this. And
many have tried. Many have failed. But
cool.
Team
Like,
Penske
Henry
pulled it
Ford
off.
himself did not picture that.
He would never imagined to see 3 Mustangs.
But that's how we got
in
the idea
wild
for
doing
the
Iron Lotus.
conveyor belt thing.
I guess the assembly line.
I don't know. Yeah.
So, anyways, it
Joe.
was cool, and I think the other thing that makes it really neat too is that, you know, Brad moving on.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of a cool, you know, hey, the 3 of us one more time out there doing a burnout together is pretty neat.
Well, now, Joe, I don't know which nickname do you hate the least, Sliced Bread or Next Gen Joe?
Nah, you know, I'm going with them all at this point.
I'm
You know,
just embracing it.
You've called me a lot more worse things than
I
that.
have called you way worse than that. Now, sir, you are the elder statesman over there in Team Penske. How's it feel?
I feel old.
Yeah. It is. Like, when did that shift? Because it felt like this year for me, like when I started watching TV and the athletes are like younger than me. Like,
Yeah.
when did that happen? Now all the drivers
Yeah.
are younger than us. Like, we're on the other
It's
side of the
kind
hill.
of weird because it's really weird for me because when I started this whole thing, what's it been, 12, 13 years since I've been started cup racing?
It's crazy.
And I was the youngest guy by a long shot. I had nothing in common with any of the other drivers. You know, they're talking about, you know, their wives and kids and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, I'd sit over here at driver intros in the corner by myself because, 1, I was kind of shy, and 2, I didn't have anything in common with anybody. And so I just kind of sat there. And now, you know, I'm kind of on the other end of it where, you know, we're the old married couple,
Talking about kids.
people with kids. And,
The first time I went to your house
young
ever,
kids now.
you were a cup driver already. We went to your parents' house there, Concord, and you said, "You guys want to go up to my room and run some iRacing?" And I said, "This is the only cup driver that goes up to his bedroom and not plays video games. This is the only one."
In his parents' house.
In his parents' house.
I cup raced and lived with my parents.
Oh yeah.
That happened.
Hey.
That's kind of weird when you
It's
think
about saving
it.
money, right?
Hey.
Yeah. You got
I can barely hear you.
Yeah, I know.
The burnouts are so loud. The race cars. I tell you, the sound of these things inside of the, you know, in the city here,
Yeah.
and the echoing off the buildings and the neon and the fans. I mean, it is the coolest thing.
I was going to ask you, how cool is it? Because you've been to almost every city. New York, probably for the banquets. You went to Vegas for the banquets.
Yeah.
How does this compare to all the other banquets?
You know, they're all unique in their own way. You go to New York City and you're freezing your butt off this time of year. But it was nice at the same time. You had, you know, all the Christmas environment that New York City, you know, brings, right? And for me, that was kind of, you know, I grew up not too far from there. So I remember going there around Christmas time and, you know, skating at Rockefeller Center. All that stuff was really cool. So that was really kind of special, you know, with New York City to bring NASCAR there. That was neat. Vegas, you know, was great. It did it so big, right? Everything's just so large in Vegas. So with the casino that we stayed at, the rooms, everything was just so large. But here in Nashville, yeah, you, like I said, you look right here on Broadway, you know, it looks like our race cars should be out there. NASCAR racing should be right here in downtown. It's really cool.
For sure. What else you got, Chuck, for Next Gen Joe?
Next Gen Joe. I'm just saying, keep the Next Gen Joe nickname.
So we've done a few Twitter polls on this whole thing now.
And what's the ratio?
No one's saying drop the Y. They're saying keep it.
I'm saying drop the Y.
But like it's like 70% stay with Joey.
It's a brand, I guess.
I don't know.
My favorite name
There's
for
a lot
you.
of things to change though. If you think about it.
The merch possibilities are endless.
Oh man.
My favorite one, we've all been friends a long time since we were young, right? But my favorite one is when I'm home and like you guys have practice and I'm watching the race or TV with my kid and she says, "Oh, there's Hudson's dad." That's my favorite. Now we've all come full circle. So
That's it. Yeah, my name's not even going to be Joe or Joey or Joseph. It's just going to be
Hudson's dad.
Huddy's dad. Yeah,
that's for sure.
We got fireworks too.
And bad deal right here.
Well, there you have it,
Fireworks
folks.
signal
Joe
the,
Logano, thanks for jumping on Stacking Pennies with us.
Good
Great
fun.
burnout there. The Iron Lotus is going to change lives
I'm
forever.
glad you guys finally invited me onto the show. I've been friends with you guys for years. I never got invited.
If you'd stop declining it every time we asked,
No
you'd be
one's
on
ever
the-
asked me.
Maybe
You
it
got
didn't
my
get
number.
to the top. That's true.
You don't invite me on the show, you flip me off on the racetrack. What the heck?
What a
Cut me
phrase.
off. Yeah, I know. I'm leaving.
You should
Bye.
see what I do to my enemies.
Who needs enemies when you have friends
Yeah.
like this?
See you, buddy.
All right, we're joined now by Chase Elliott as the fireworks are going off. They knew you were coming, so they had to set off the
No,
fireworks.
they knew you were about done. They were congratulating you.
Yeah.
Fantastic
Thank
sweater
God
choice.
what they were doing.
Chase, while we're here, it was your birthday a couple days ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sunday.
What'd you get him?
Do you feel older?
No, not yet.
That's
no.
the dumbest question of all time.
Do you feel older now?
It's like, what are you supposed to say back to that?
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
like,
I feel like I'm 50 years older now.
Now, there is a big difference when you turn 30, though. I feel like you're just old.
I'll
It
say
hits
this much.
harder. It hits harder at 30.
I feel like 30's just getting started.
I felt pretty damn old this morning waking up with a headache.
Hey,
That's
my
for different
best
reasons.
year was 30. I had a great 30.
Chuck barely remembers that because that was 10 years ago.
Does your mic work?
Yeah.
No, I can't. Hear
We
it.
can't really.
It's probably a blessing for you. I'll just shut up.
Yeah, you can shut up.
No, I mean, go ahead.
Chase, this is your second time here in Nashville for the banquet because we skipped last year. You didn't get to do it for your championship.
We did. We skipped it last year. You're
That
right.
stinks.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
What'd you do last year?
Honestly.
Have a COVID party in your basement?
Yes, a little bit of that.
Dang.
I mean, we had a great time. It wasn't like we didn't celebrate, but certainly, like, this is a great honor to have. So that is a little disappointing, you know, but whatever. And try to do it again, right?
Did you go a little harder on your burnout since you didn't get to do one last year?
I can't hear it. What do you say?
He asked if you went a little bit harder on this Gen 6 car since the last one.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I saw like 2 or 3 guys break in front of me, and I'm just like, I don't want to be that guy. You know, let's get it rolling, keep trucking. It wasn't the greatest thing ever, but I didn't break nothing, so I feel like that was good.
So, you got me here? Got this one?
No, I can't hear
Nothing.
The grand finale of fireworks is going off.
I love it.
Chuck just thinks it's in a reenactment.
Duck!
So
They're coming over the hill.
You got nothing. So, so Corey has, I know we all kind of grew up racing late models and stuff, and we've watched you come to the ranks. You guys kind of race together, but sprint cars. You got in a sprint car this past week, and you've been running midgets. But what was a wing sprint car like?
Yeah, it was different for sure. Really, between the midget and the sprint car, I felt more comfortable in the sprint car personally. I mean, obviously the 2 very different series, you know, out there, but nonetheless, I felt like it was a lot of fun. I'd love to try it again. I think I obviously still have a lot to learn, but it was it was a good time. It's just all that stuff is such a departure from how I grew up racing and just the style of racing, the racing etiquette, all those things, and it's been tough, you know, to try to learn all that stuff quick.
Is it easier now to kind of parlay some of those connections that Larson has now? He's a teammate to go get in those sprint cars. That was a 360, I believe you raced out there, right?
Yeah, it was.
What do you think will translate from that into what we're racing on Sunday?
The sprint car stuff? You know, honestly, I don't know. Some of the driving, sure, you know, your mental quickness and kind of making decisions. But honestly, just from a mental standpoint, I feel like that's where that type of racing is really challenging on me because, you know, hot laps are super quick. You're immediately going out there and qualifying. Your heat race is 10 laps, and the feature is 30, and all that stuff happens within 3 hours, right? Where we asphalt race growing up, and it's like, let's practice for 4 days, and then we'll have a qualifying session, and then we'll run a 150-lap race on a track that's, you know, 35 years old. So there was just not a lot of that real sense of urgency the entire night. So I think probably that side is helpful.
So this is airing on Saturday. The next day on Sunday is the Snowball Derby. You've, I believe, won that twice.
Yep.
So after driving the next-gen car a couple times with the feel of the rack, with the wider tires, the lower CG, I kind of feel like it's similar to a Super of sorts than what we're used to driving.
Man, I ran last year at the Snowball, but it had been a while since I had been in one prior to that. I didn't get the sensation that they drove much like a late model, but obviously a much bigger track at Charlotte and different things. So, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think I've had very limited time in the car, so kind of hard for me to
know exactly what I need or what needs to be better.
Obviously, a lot of big news in Nashville this weekend with the fairgrounds. You won a race at the fairgrounds this year. What is that race going to translate to if and when we run Cup cars there?
Yeah, so you have to excuse my ignorance. I saw some of the headlines, but I didn't have a chance to read all the details in it. But it looked positive, so hopefully you guys can at least assure that. And
well, you were essentially one of the last guys to race. You won the SRX race there, so
yeah. Well,
how do you think a Cup race?
Oh my
will
gosh!
Race there?
Well, I mean, I've made it very known. This is one of my favorite tracks in the country, and it was certainly my favorite track when I was short track racing. I didn't realize how special it was, I don't think, when I was coming up through that stuff. But now, looking back, I'm like, dang, we have a city that is booming. I mean, this city is nuts, right? And the way the world works now, we're never going to build a racetrack in a city or that close to a city ever again. Like, that's just never going to happen. And we have both. You have an incredible town, and you have a racetrack that's within a short Uber ride or a taxi or whatever. And we don't have that type of environment in the NASCAR world, and I think it's the absolute perfect storm for success for as long as they want to have it.
What are some of Chase Elliott's favorite spots to hit here on Broadway?
Man, I feel like probably the best. I don't even know if I want to say this because I want to keep it the way it is, but AJ's bar, Alan Jackson has a bar here, and if you can find it, don't come in. Because
you weren't the first answer.
Nice. Oh, really?
Ryan said the same thing.
Well, ask him.
He went floor 2, unplugged.
Fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair
So
enough.
now we know who recommended that particular spot to Ryan
Yeah.
Blaney.
Yeah, 100%. I will take credit for that.
He already rolled
He
on it.
rolled in here, stole my answer, and he's probably there right now. So I would love to catch up.
Well,
in his fire suit. Like,
He's
he's
still gonna be
at
right
the
there.
bar in his fire suit.
And you might be able to find this guy in the Alan Jackson bar too, but you're already 3 days late because this was taped delayed. Unfortunately,
Sorry.
so
You're not missing
2020
much.
NASCAR champion Chase Elliott, thanks for jumping on
Yeah,
Stacking
man.
Pennies.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Cool.
Enjoyed
Have a
it.
good night. All right, guys. This is the one you've all been waiting for. The champ himself's here. Kyle Larson's on Stacking Pennies. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Change hats.
I couldn't fit. Yeah, the hat's going back on. Believe you me, because it's. They shut the music off for us. Thank you very much.
Don't
How about a round of applause for the champ?
Hey.
Thank you.
I mean, he's a multiple-time guest on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've been on a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean, you did
because we
win.
have winners on the show,
Yeah.
and you won 10 times. Like, what do you want from us?
Corey had the line at 9.5 heading into Phoenix, I think.
did.
Oh, really?
We were
Yeah.
going to have Cliff again, but he controls the conversation too much.
Yeah.
So
He's
you're
too
like,
serious,
all right,
too.
Cliff, we get it.
Okay, we talked to you. You were in the LA Coliseum a couple days removed from winning the championship. It's got to be sunk in by now.
Yeah,
How
I
did
think
it feel?
so. Yeah. I mean, I think definitely being here in Nashville and having to wake up early to do stuff really lets it sink in. So, no, it's been cool, and all the stuff that I did in LA helped. And then, going to race the midget and honestly sucking really helped kind of make it set in, because you were like, I need to think about something better than struggling in this midget. So, had to remind myself that I've won a championship and it's not too bad. But getting here to Nashville has been fun, and look forward to the next 2 nights.
What is how many beers has Caitlin had to shotgun?
I don't know. I haven't honestly been around her that much at all today. I know she's been out with our friends most of the night and day, going to different bars, so I'm sure she's had quite a bit.
Now, what's it look like for the boys? I mean, you obviously, I feel like it was so cool the way you guys won the championship, right? Because, like, you had so much talent, and the way you came back on the scene, it kind of overshadowed how strong your team was at times. And, from a pit crew guy, those guys pitting in the lead that many races in a row and being able to hold court, and they were just so solid all year. And then your road crew, what Jesse Saunders and what with Legend there at the Roval, that's so big. So to be able to put it all together the way you guys won the championship, what are you guys going to do this weekend here?
Well, I think Cliff kind of handled it for us in Scottsdale.
I heard it was rough.
But no, I don't know. I'm getting ready to go meet up with everybody here tonight, so it'll be a blast to get to celebrate with them again after we did in Arizona. But like you mentioned, I think, I feel like their performance gets overshadowed. It's nice that they had that great performance at Phoenix, but I think the rest of the season kind of gets overshadowed. Like you said, we came down pit road first a lot of times, and we left first. And I think that says a lot about their execution, every stop, staying calm, just hitting their marks as well. So, yeah, Cliff's done a great job, putting this team together over the last couple of years, and I'm just a fortunate guy who gets to drive the car.
What do kids think? I know Owen got to ride back to Victory Lane at Phoenix, and so what's been their take?
Yeah, I think Owen definitely enjoyed riding in the car for sure. Audrey, she's only 3.5, so she's been calling me the championship, not the champion. She's like, Daddy, you a good championship. So no, it's been fun to have them and get them all dressed up, taking pictures this morning around the city and all that, enjoying everything with the family.
So your usual NASCAR off season consists of going to New Zealand, Australia, racing midgets. Is travel restricted a little bit? So can you do that sort of stuff?
Yeah, so I won't be able to go race overseas this year. I think you could technically in Australia, but it's just kind of a hassle. So I'm not going to race again until Chili Bowl. So, which I need as many laps as I can get the way we performed this past week in California. But I'm going to go to Dubai, to go on some vacations and stuff.
Hang on. I was jealous about that, so I'm glad you brought that up. Who are you going to an F1 race to hang out with? Who are you going through there?
So I got connected with Zach Brown with McLaren. I don't really know how in depth it's going to be. I just kind of messaged him hey, can I get some passes to get in? So because it was just originally my wife and I going, and then now JP's going. I think Rod from Pro Sports going. John Edwards is going. So it'll be a fun group of us going, and I'm excited.
Are you gonna bring your helmet bag?
So I did try to. I asked Zach and I asked a few others if they had any seats open for the test, but they're all filled up.
Dude,
damn it. I know.
Imagine
next year though.
That.
I want to next year.
Dude,
I didn't even know they had a test. So.
Yeah, they're weird about that stuff. You gotta do simulators, and then they got free test days and stuff. Yeah. How many times have you been asked about Indy 500?
Way too many.
One more?
Yeah. Normally it only happens I don't know, March, April, May. But this year it's been almost every interview I've done, really? I feel is asked me about the Indy 500. So, I have not been in any talks with anybody. I would like to do it. It's just logistically it's got to make sense, and it's just difficult, I feel to do.
But to me, that's what doesn't make sense, right? You would think when you were with Chip, the line was there.
Yeah. Well, back then, I always wanted to win a cup race and be locked in the playoffs before I could all right, I want to go do the Indy 500. Well, I never did that with Chip, so it was kind of hard to commit and then take focus away from the cup side of things. So we'll see how this goes, but I'm definitely open to it. It'd be a fun challenge, a scary challenge, I think. Those cars are intimidating, but it'd be fun. I definitely want to do it someday. I just want to do it when it's right.
Dude, your last 16 months have been one of a storybook year for the ages. You've won about every single race there is to win. Is there anything left on the bucket list to check? What's left on the wins you want to get or set out to get?
Well, one that I guess I've competed in now the last couple of years and didn't win would be the National Open at Williams Grove. I finished second in it to Donnie last year, and then I think I finished 5th or 6th this year. So that would be the next big sprint car race that I haven't won. Daytona 500, obviously. I'm happy to see a checkered flag there. So
on all 4 wheels.
Yeah, gosh. So Daytona though, gosh, I don't know. Southern 500 for sure. I've ran second at Darlington the last 4 times I think I've been there. So Southern 500 for sure.
That would be a cool one, I think, to that's a track that, I know I'm not a driver, but that is one track that I've always wanted.
It's so fun.
If I ever did the Richard Petty driving experience, I'd want to do it at Darlington.
Darlington's badass, dude.
Yeah.
You're locked in the Clash, though?
Yeah, I am. I guess I'm the only guy right now.
Yeah, the only guy.
We're probably only one of 3 or 4 guys, myself included, with Chase and Daniel, maybe Bubba, that raced on Bowman Gray.
Yeah.
So how do you think it's going to relate?
I don't even remember how to get around Bowman Gray.
Me neither. It was a decade ago.
Take the wheel, hit the gas on the
this, something like that.
I don't know. I feel like the smaller the track gets, the worse I am. So I think you're gonna be super good there if you guys are going.
I'm gonna smash everybody out of the way. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a great equalizer, and I think there probably will be a surprise winner. So it's gonna be a fun event.
Taking it back to some of the championship stuff, I know there's been a lot of stuff you've done here in Nashville, but going back to your hometown and that parade, what was that like? You turn the corner, you go down the street, and you see all the fans.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was neat. I didn't know what to expect. I knew we were having it, but you never know how those deals are going to turn out. Like, is there going to be 50 people or is there going to be a couple thousand? And I was glad it was the high end of that. So, because it would have been pretty embarrassing had I not had any support. But no, it was neat to have that support from my hometown. I hadn't been back there in probably over a year or two. So, we passed my junior high school that I went to and by my favorite restaurant.
That's
so,
badass.
yeah, it was neat. And I got to see a lot of familiar faces, like sprint car fans, some of my aunts and cousins and stuff that I haven't seen in forever. So it was definitely a moment I'll never forget.
On that note of things, I think seeing you at the track and seeing the people that are around you at the track, you see Silva walking around the track, Kobe Copeland, spots for you, and you kind of have the same friends you had when you first moved down here to run K&N cars. How important is that to keep you grounded, and then how much more special does that make it to have those same guys kind of in your corner when you win?
Yeah, definitely. I was very happy to have the group of people that I did at Phoenix that day. Basically, like, anybody who I would have wanted to be there was there, and that meant a lot to me. Whether I won or ran fourth that day, like, I still felt really good about who showed up and was there to support me. A lot of my best friends and people have been a big part of my life and career. So, and a lot of them are here again this week. So, just grateful to have that friendship and get to celebrate with everybody.
What would be an unexpected perk of being a NASCAR champion?
Ooh, unexpected perk?
Like maybe a gift from Rick that showed up unexpectedly, like a car, like a Ferrari or something.
No,
I don't know.
No, I haven't had any of that. Unexpected gift is I've got like an SUV that will take me anywhere I want to go this week, and I've got a security guard with me, so not that I need one. So
Cliff might though.
Yeah, Cliff. Yeah, he needs to run it well.
Keep an eye on him. Yeah, keep an eye on him.
Where's the trophy gonna live?
I've been thinking about that. Right now, like in my shop, you've been in my shop. I don't know if I showed you like my little trophy room I have.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of trophies in there where right now I'd probably stick it in there, but I want to build like something really nice for that and like Knoxville Nationals. I don't know if you probably, when you were there, so upstairs in the loft, I put a golf simulator up there and like made it a nice bar lounge kind of man cave in a way, and I want to do this like cool wallpaper. There's a long wall and like showcase my Knoxville Nationals and my championship, maybe put the trophies up there. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with it yet, but we'll do something cool eventually.
No, you got a ton of cool stuff to do it with, because 2020 and 2021 was a good chapter in Kyle Larson's life.
Thanks.
Man. Well, another round of applause for the champ.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining Stacking Pennies, buddy.
Yeah,
You've been
thanks.
a great guest and good friend.
Yeah,
Live
thank
it
you.
up.
Thanks. We'll see you out there tonight somewhere.
Oh, you'll see me out there.
Okay.
Look for the hat.
Look for the hat. Looking for the dummy in the fedora, and I'll be there. I think that's it, Chuck. I mean, who else? There's nobody else to talk to.
We gotta shout out Keegan Leahy, Coca-Cola iRacing NASCAR Series driver champion.
Can't forget about him.
100 grand, not a bad deal.
I feel like that's almost way more impressive than anything we've done in real life. That stuff is tough.
Oh my God.
My brain doesn't speak that language.
No.
It just doesn't. So there you have it. The 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champ, Kyle Larson. All right, guys, the fun has ended for us, but it's just starting for you. Tune in to NBCSN here at 6 o'clock to watch these burnouts on Broadway. All the background noise you heard for the last hour will be going on, and you will see for yourself the Iron Lotus, Chuck.
Hashtag Iron Lotus.
I'm looking forward to seeing that, because we couldn't get a full view of it from here because we got the NBC stage in front of us.
It was glorious.
So I want to see that sort of. Did they have a drone out there? We can see the overhead.
I don't know.
Was the ceiling too low?
There's only one way to find out.
Is to watch
on
it.
NBCSN.
I don't know about you. I had a blast tonight.
It was a good time.
A lot of fun.
It's been a fun day.
Been a busy day.
Yes.
I'm ready to drink some alcohol.
Yes. I can see it out there.
Who's going to hold Corey's hair tonight?
My old lady. And I'm going to hear about it for a week.
Just get some hair ties. Just hold the hair back.
You got a man bun? You do a man bun?
I can do a ponytail.
Oh.
No, you will never see it on Instagram. I promise you.
I don't know. We are in the Instagram capital of the world. You doing a little ponytail in front of the wings?
Yes.
Ooh.
Do the wings and the ponytail.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to do it.
With your hat and wet
Man
hair
card would
earlier.
be revoked.
Do an updo poof.
I don't know what that is.
What is
Oh, I don't know what that, but you did look like the Undertaker earlier with your hat and their hair was wet.
Yes.
You're all black.
Undertaker.
Chuck knew what that was way too quick. Do an updo poof.
No, it's Zach Galifianakis on SNL back in the day. He's like, reach for the stars because the stars don't have, or reach for the moon because the stars don't have arms to reach back to you.
I don't know where the train is off the rails.
Yeah.
But it's about to be back on the rails. Tune in. Burnouts on Broadway, 6 o'clock, NBCSN. That's it. We were stacking pennies. All the pennies are done stacked. Appreciate y'all. Talk soon.